Good morning, everyone. It's 6 a.m. and if you are just joining us, we're following breaking news this Monday morning. Pope Francis has died at the age of 88. The news came straight from the Vatican around 4 this morning, which was 10 o'clock in Rome. The Holy Father, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, was elected in March of 2013. Just yesterday, the Pope appeared at St. Peter's Square delivering an Easter message. This came after he spent weeks battling pneumonia in the hospital. We'll continue to update this story throughout the morning as we learn more. First, though, we do say good morning to you here in Kentucky, and I'm Grace McKenna.
And I'm Jim Stratman, and again, we will be continuing to follow the reaction to Pope Francis's death and new details as well throughout GMK and over on WHAS11.com too. But first, we turn to the weather because as you see behind us, we have some rain moving through Kentuckiana right now. Julie is in with us this morning, and Julie, you're saying that this is going to move out pretty quickly this morning.
It will. By lunchtime, we're looking at an entirely different situation. The sun returns, and we're looking at a nice dry day and another dry couple of days for that matter. Right now we're at 68 here at the airport. Winds are out of the south at 11, but it's pretty gusty out there, gusting into the 20s. So expect the winds to be an issue for another couple of hours, but the rain, yes, it's starting to come in, but you'll notice it's not very heavy at all. Some heavier pockets in the yellows and reds you see back off here to our west. But really, this is not going to amount to much of anything, just a little bit of a nuisance, really, as you head into work this Monday morning. So we'll see the showers early this morning, and those winds will be a bit gusty out there. But then once this moves out, high pressure starts to build in behind our front, and that's going to make for some very pleasant conditions. Temperatures climbing all the way up into the mid-70s today, which is above average here for this time of year, and then a nice mild evening setting up as well. We are in for another very nice couple of days. I will detail all of that for you coming up in your full forecast in just a couple minutes.
All right, Julie, thank you. A former Metro police officer facing multiple charges is expected in court for the first time this morning. Police say Roberto Cedeno's charges include stalking, falsely reporting an incident, harassing communications, and violation of an interpersonal protective order. They stem from an investigation after a complaint LMPD says it became aware of back in March. Cedeno turned himself into police on April 11th, just 3 days after resigning from the department. We could learn more about what led to the charges when he appears in court this morning at 9.
A man is dead after being shot by an LMPD officer in Crescent Hill on Easter Sunday.
Police say neighbors reported an intoxicated man yelling at them, and when police tried to arrest him, he stabbed an officer. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer and Aspen Hester walk us through what happened next.
No, the next thing I heard was a pop.
The fatal shot heard in the Crescent Hill neighborhood just off Frankfort Avenue.
I thought maybe it's a firework.
That bullet shot by an LMPD officer. Officers were called to an apartment complex off Arterburn Avenue to reports of an intoxicated man yelling at neighbors and breaking windows.
And heard this guy just yelling and screaming and cussing, and it went on for quite a while.
According to LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey, officers tried to talk to the man, noticed he had a knife, and told him not to touch it. He then approached the officers, who then tried to detain him, but the man resisted.
One of the officers attempted to deploy a taser, which was ineffective. During that struggle, the subject retrieved the knife and stabbed an officer in the chest. Fortunately, the vest that the officer was wearing stopped the knife and he was not injured.
Then the other officer shot the man in the head. Life-saving procedures were taken and the man was transported to U of L Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Wind chimes and kids playing outside, those are sounds neighbors are used to hearing, making this incident even more unfortunate and out of the ordinary.
There is a lot of activity over on Frankfort Avenue across the tracks, but in this part of the area, it's really, really quiet.
It's like our little hamlet back here. You wouldn't even know you're on Frankfort Avenue.
Officers involved in the incident have been placed on paid administrative leave.
I would just like to give thanks that no one else was more seriously injured in a situation that could have been horribly worse.
The shock still settling in for the peaceful neighborhood. In Crescent Hill, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11, on your side.
As of this morning, the man's identity has not been released, and body camera footage from the officers will come out within 10 days per LMPD policy.
The driver of this truck you see on your screen, who police say hit a 3-year-old at a Fairdale apartment complex last week and took off, has turned himself in and is now out on bond. Paul Taub was charged with tampering with physical evidence and leaving the scene of an accident. According to court documents, Taub was driving his truck in the Regency Park apartment parking lot when he hit that 3-year-old girl. The whole incident was caught on surveillance camera. Taub said that he didn't know he had hit anyone and assumed that it was a speed bump. He told police he drove off when people began to scream and hit his truck. Taub claims that he found out about the incident through word of mouth and social media. In a panic, he said that he hit his truck, threw away his license plate, and removed a window decal that could easily identify his truck. Taub turned himself in to police on Saturday. Police say the 3-year-old girl suffered an injury to her arm that required surgery. Taub is out on bond and expected back in court a week from today.
Metro Police are also investigating a deadly Easter shooting in the Highlands. It happened around 3:30 Sunday morning at Bardstown Road and Baxter Avenue. Police say a man was shot in the leg and managed to make it into his car before crashing into another vehicle a short distance away. The man was taken to the hospital where he died. Police say the other driver was hurt and also hospitalized, but is expected to survive. As of this morning, there are no suspects. If you know anything that could help police, call 574-LMPD.
Today, grief counselors and support staff will be at Adair County Middle School following the death of an 8th grader. In a social media post, Adair County Public Schools said that Skylar Huckabee died in a crash early Sunday morning. The district said, in part, Skylar was a bright and kind student, well loved by classmates, teachers, and staff. His presence in our halls brought energy and joy, and his absence will be profoundly felt by all who knew him. We're working to learn some more details about that deadly crash.
And this morning, a Jeffersonville high school senior is hospitalized after being seriously hurt in a crash Friday night. In a social media post, Jeffersonville Volleyball said Alex Avila was taken to UofL Hospital where he was being treated for a brain bleed. At last check, the team said he'd been released from the ICU. A GoFundMe has been set up to help his family pay for hospital costs. It's linked in this story on the WHAS11.com homepage.